property under contract and it's a great deal. It's jumping around. It's jumping around on your side. Oh, just on the iPad. It needs to be under contract. You're dealing directly with the owner, a great deal, and off market. You can submit it to dealyourlater.com right here on my shirt. Go to the Send Deals tab. You can also access that CRM system, new CRM system that's going to help you manage your deals, create good follow-up. You can make phone calls in it. You can send text messages. You can manage it all there. You can drop ringless voicemail. You can send email drips to potential sellers, remind them that you still exist. You can set up pipelines for your different lead types, such as Bandit signs, direct mail, cold calling, text message, ringless voicemail. It is awesome. Questions, please. Let's go.
I have a question on Instagram. It's how do you get the owner's contact information on a property?
Question from Instagram. How do you get the owner's contact information on a property? How do you get the owner's contact? Well, the free way to do it is to access it through the county website, right? Now, all county websites are not built equally. Some of them are not user-friendly at all, right? But that would be the first place that you would want to go. Now, if you want a paid option, but it does a lot more than that, then dealyourlater.com is what I would suggest. Dealyourlater.com, aka PropStream, or whatever. So,
is that you, Johnny, on TikTok asked, how do I reply when a seller says, where's your title company located when I don't have one yet?
All right, they say, is that you, John Wayne? Someone asks on TikTok, if a seller asks, well, what title company are you using? All right. And now that's something you should have ready to go. And that's a really good question. I'm glad you asked that question. So what you should do is whatever market you're targeting or your leads are, or you're trying to find deals in, simply go to my Facebook group, Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flip Man, and ask the question, what title companies and or closing attorneys are wholesaler friendly in XYZ city or whatever. So I already have that prepared. So, and you want to be able to give them 2 or 3 or whatever. And so it just depends on who can schedule us the fastest. I sometimes use this one, that one, blah, blah, or whatever. So, boom.
As a beginner, what do I use to find off-market properties?
Someone asks, as a beginner, what do they use to find off-market properties? Well, that's why we talk about Bandit signs, direct mail, cold calling, driving for dollars, text messaging, ringless voicemail, voice broadcast, Facebook ads, YouTube ads. I'm sorry, not YouTube. Well, I guess them too. Google AdWords, marketing, advertising your butt off, letting property owners know you exist is the name of the game. Your title is a wholesaler, but in reality, you are a marketer. You have your own marketing firm because it just boils down to how effective are you at generating leads. If you're great at generating leads, you can be terrible at negotiations and still make 6 figures.
Stand Tall for Life asks, how do I use a purchase and sell agreement to stay out of trouble?
Stand Tall from Life from Instagram asks, how does he use a purchase and sales agreement to stay out of trouble? That's the whole purpose of it. It's a legal document that you and the seller or you and the buyer have agreed upon, and as long as you stay within those terms, you're good.
And Ed Antonio 114 on TikTok asks, question, do you need a social security number?
Ed Antonio off of TikTok says, do you need a social security number? I mean, I guess he means, does he need one? Where are you from? You're not, or you here? Well, I'm just asking. This is a real question. Are you legally here? If not, then you just need to partner with someone that is legally here. So, but as far as a social security number, you don't need a social security number because you're trying to, well, I don't know how they handle it when you're not from here, but you just need to be able to set up a bank account. If you can set up a bank account, you're good because you need to be able to cash your checks. They're not just going to say, well, 20, 30, 40, 120. They're not going to count the money out to you. They're going to pay you in a check form, or they're going to wire you the money, a bank wire. So you need to be able to set up a bank account, so whatever that takes. So if you can't do that because of whatever your status is, then you need to partner with someone that you trust that can.
And then Baxley Builds on TikTok asks, most people on PropStream have already been called and don't want to sell. How do I find deals?
Someone off of TikTok said most people have already been contacted on from his lead sheets or call sheet. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Okay. And well, let me back up. Even if they have, okay, this time last year, what is it, January 27th, we barely knew about coronavirus, right? And people were calling those people then. Now you call them in March. I got this tenant in here. I can't get them out. I'm willing to basically give this house away. My wife called COVID and she got through it, but she had a revelation life is too short. She don't want to deal with my BS anymore. She's out. We need to sell it. You know what I'm saying? So timing. So you just got to keep just pounding and doing your thing, and try text messaging. YouTube search Flipman text to flip. Text messaging is more effective.
All right, this question's from Facebook. Can you zoom in on wholesale app programs that are needed? I think you're talking about stuff.
Oh, on this, well, we actually can't zoom in on the what's the name, but if you will just post your question in the comment section of any of my YouTube videos, I'll be glad to send you those websites. I'll name them out here. That's, I don't know if that'll work, but text to flip, that's TXT, the number 2FLIP.com. Skip the flip, same thing, same format rather. Dealulator.com, which is the same thing as PropStream. DirtCheapSigns.com, which is where I order Bandit signs. I refer people, they will give you a small discount, just for referring me, or what say you know me or whatever. RealPOF.com, that's where you can get proof of funds if you're going to go down that rabbit hole. Then Flipman.net, which is where it all goes down. We're not short on questions. Yeah. You can go now. Instagram, you can probably see it better on this on the gram.
How do you estimate repairs over the phone? Should I have a contract with you?
Question on YouTube was, how do they estimate repairs over the phone? Should I have a contract to do a walkthrough? A simple way of estimating repairs, if the property is livable, multiply that times $25. If it's not livable, multiply it times $40. Now that could always be a little more, it could be a little less depending on the neighborhood, but that generally will get you in the ballpark of what you need to do as far as estimated repairs.
All right, this is from Miracle House on YouTube. She said, I went driving for dollars and the property that I found is not on Zillow or Redfin. How do I find the address? I need something free. I'm not in the budget to pay for any of those paid websites right now.
I get it, baby girl. What's her name?
Miracle.
Miracle House. What's going on? Miracle House. She asked a question. She found a property. She's trying to figure out the address. It wasn't listed on Zillow or Redfin. She's now and she can't afford none of this stuff that I talk about. And so, we're just fine. You're there. Use some of that stimulus check, girl. Well, first you need to figure out, do you have the right address? If it's not pulling up on Zillow or Redfin, are you sure you have the right address, right? The simple thing you can do is first you'll do, okay, if there are houses around it, you got a house on the right, house on the left, right? So do those have the house numbers on them or on the mailbox or whatever? If they do, then you should be able to figure it out. Or the house directly across the street. You should be able to figure out that way. The best thing you can do, I'm sure you have a smartphone, look like you do. I don't know anyone that doesn't, but look like you have a smartphone. Sit right in front of the address, right, in your vehicle, and ask the question, depending on what you have, whether you have an Apple or the Android, Google, what's my location if you have an Android? With Apple, Siri, what's my location? It's normally going to identify that for you and give you the address. You're at 123 Main Street. Is there anything else I can help you with, Ty? No, ma'am.
Let's see. This is from William Jones on YouTube. He said, "Can I get a deal from another wholesaler and submit it to do you better?"
We really don't like to take those because we don't know if that wholesaler that you were dealing is he actually dealing with the seller. If we do, we got to talk to the other guy too. Also, if we accept those, we really prefer not to do those or whatever, and that just comes from experience. So I ain't saying no, but I'm just telling you what we would need to be able for that to happen.
All right, Paulette Brown said, "How can someone wholesale and subject to, and who pays all the sellers?"
Oh, that last question he asked me, could he submit a deal through dealator.com that we can partner JV on if he's not dealing directly with the owner, but another wholesaler? And Paulette just asked, how can someone wholesale a subject to and who pays off the seller? Okay, really, if you're wholesaling a subject to deal, you're basically you've set up the terms. Hopefully they're attractive. They're paying you a fee to move out of the way. Same thing. And who pays the seller? The person that takes over the deal, who you wholesale it to.
This is coming from Instagram. He asks, "What do you look for when finding a property to wholesale?"
Question from Instagram: what do you look for when you can pronounce their name?
Rico 12M29.
Rico 12M29 from Instagram is saying, what do I look for when I'm trying to wholesale a property? Motivation, price. People can say, well, they're a motivated seller. Why? Because they told you? What did that price say? The price determines if they're motivated or not. Otherwise, they're just talking. They just got a property for sale. So they need to be motivated to sell based on the numbers. That's the way you determine motivation. Now, their reason for selling it at that price is the motivation. They, like say, divorce, maybe a death, job loss or income loss. Man, it's hot up here. Yeah, go ahead and buy. I did. I'm sorry. But anyway, so well, okay. But the reason the motivation. Okay, so hopefully I answered that question. Rico M297273527.
So Baxley on TikTok wants to know, what's the best list from PropStream to call?
Baxley from TikTok is, what's the best list from PropStream, aka Dealator, aka PropStream, to build and call? I don't know if there's a best list, but the name of the game is equity. If you don't know what equity is, it's what you owe and what it's worth, and the difference is the equity. So if the house is worth $100,000, if the house is worth $100,000 and you owe 20, then the equity is 80,000. So I'm on an equity chase. That's what we're on as wholesalers. We're on an equity hunt. So I'm going to do a list that I'm going to build is free and clear, which means they normally don't owe anything. So there's 100% equity available to negotiate. Non-owner occupied, which means absentee owner. They own it, but they don't live in it. Single family residential. Off market, meaning not listed on MLS. Then under the ownership information, I want to deal with individuals only, not corporate or LLCs or anything like that, or trust. And then I want them to own for at least a year. I'm shooting. If I can get a big enough list, I'll shoot for 3-5 years or more or whatever. So, and then sometimes if the list is still too big because of what I want to spend on the skip tracing, I may even scale it down a little more. I can do out-of-state owners or out-of-county owners. I can do out-of-county, out-of-state owners. So
what's the recommended size of skip trace list?
What's the name? You can't say it. Oh, just say it. Okay, that's fine. Well, just internet. Go ahead. Doo-doo Mark. Doo-doo Mark. Doo-doo Mark. How you spell that? D-O-O? Doo-doo Mark from Instagram. What's up? I don't know, male or female, but what's up? What's up, Doo-doo Mark? Doo-doo Mark from Instagram. Say, oh, wow, I'm just thinking about that. Oh.
Well, that's
Oh, skid mark. Okay, Doodoo Mark. Doodoo Mark from Instagram. Wow. Okay, that's brandable. Doodoo Mark from Instagram wants to know, I don't remember what the question was. What was it?
What's the best size of this?
Oh, what's the best size list to skip trace? Depends on your budget. You know, it can never be enough. You know, that's going to depend on the individual. Now, I forgot to say, guys, huh? Oh, anything? Okay, so we this okay. Let's go. Oh, I did, didn't I? Okay, remove those. What's the name? Those banners first. You can remove just the 50-50 banner. You don't have to do the. You could have left the other one. That's fine. Yeah, you can leave that one. Then move the go back to brand. Okay, and then let's see what we got. Who is this? Hey, what's up, Vern? So we got a man, Vern, live. He took advantage of going to Fliptainment. He's going to ask his questions live here on YouTube and Facebook. So,
hey, I got a real quick question. How do you figure out who owns the property if you?
Okay.
I don't have any lists. I don't have any lists, but I do a lot of driving. I see properties that's vacant a lot, so I'm trying to figure out who the owner is and how to get a hold of them. And
you at work? You at work? Oh, okay.
No.
All right. So Vern asks, how can he figure out who owns the property when you're doing your driving for dollars?
Right.
Okay. So the free way to do it is just use the county website. Now, all county websites are not user friendly, but normally that information is there. A lot of times it's under the tax assessor or tax collector, whatever it's called in your mark or state or whatever. And that's how you can find out who owns it and their mailing address. Now, how you reach out to them is going to be up to you, whether you're going to do it by mail and or text or email, or maybe even ring this voicemail or voice broadcast. Or then you have to skip trace that information, which if you want to skip trace, just go to YouTube, do a search for Flip Man, skip the flip. But that's how you can find it for free, is through the county website.
Wait a minute, what was that again?
You find it free through the county website.
No, the skip trace part. That's where you find the phone number, right?
Yeah, just go to YouTube and do a search for skip the flip. SKIP, the number 2, and FLIP, skip to flip, all one word. And Flip Man, of course.
Okay. All right, cool. Thanks.
All right, yeah, thanks, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vern. Yeah, so Vern joined us live. Ooh, that was our first one. Hey, he joined us live. All you have to do is just go to flippanar.com. If you don't know how to spell Flippanar, remove the G off of flipping and add an AR.com. Flippanar, a seminar, webinar had a baby and produced a Flippanar. Boom. So we got that out. Oh, that's good. Okay, boom. Anybody else waiting? Okay, all right. So who's next? I got too much dip on my chin. What time did we start? I don't know. Oh wow.
18 minutes ago.
Oh, it's telling me. Okay, that's right. Yeah, boom. There we go.
So Q on Instagram wants to know, what do I do if I can't find a cash buyer for my property?
All right, Q off of Instagram wants to know, what do we do if we can't find a cash buyer for our property? All right, so, well, you go back to the owner that you got it under contract with, ask them for more time and hopefully a price reduction, and they give it to you. You ask them for more time and a price reduction, and they don't, and that's going to happen. Guess what? They're just going to keep earning this money. They go their way, you go your way. That's how it works.
All right. Let's see. This one is from James Butler on YouTube. He said, what are your thoughts on pre-foreclosure markets as of today? Is that a market to look at or hold off on?
All right, James Butler is asking, what do I think about pre-foreclosures today? And is that something that you should pursue now or hold off on? Well, because of COVID-19, a lot of pre-foreclosures that should have happened in 2020 still haven't happened yet. So you can pursue those. It's just going to be situation by situation, lender by lender. If that's your thing, you can pursue them. You know, you never know. Someone may just get ahead of the game. They may have enough equity there. They know they're going to have to move or whatever. They may just go ahead and do a deal with you. So just be aware. you know, it's still a lot of what they call moratoriums on foreclosures or whatever. So, okay. Yeah. What's going on? You can leave the banners up. We can still see them. You can leave them up. You can leave that up. What up, Oscar? What's happening, man?
Hey man, so I'm trying to get a property under contract. It's this guy has a bundle of 3 properties. One of them is a vacation home, and 2 other ones are rentals. But he lives around like a farm area. And I try to do my research through Redfin and everything. I know I got the right address, and only the vacation home is coming back with the actual estimate. The other 2 just show up as a land. How do I get the estimate on the ARV on those properties?
Okay, Oscar is asking this question live on. I say you get pushed to the front of the line if you go to fliptainment.com and ask it online here. But he has 3 properties that he's targeting. Are they all on the same property? The 3 houses?
They're on the same street. They're right next to each other.
Okay, they're right next to each other, but it's out in a rural area, farmland? Are they out in a rural area? You muted or something, Mark. We can't hear you. Yeah, they're out in a rural area, you said?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. All right. So more than likely, man, if it's out in a rural area like that, you're not going to have comps, right? It's not enough transactions in small. Do you know the population of that area or that town or city or whatever?
No, not really.
You don't? Okay.
Market.
Yeah, but is it a small town? I guess it is. It's in a rural area. Or is it outside of a bigger city?
It's kind of outside of a bigger city.
How far from what city? Just what city?
So it's about 40 minutes from San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, see that's not San Antonio, 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? If it's outside 40 minutes, then it's just out in the rural area. So that's going to be difficult. So it's still going to boil down to someone may want, but that's not too far from San Antonio where someone that does business or work in San Antonio may still want a property like that. So now it's going to just boil down to, did you try to look it up on the county website?
No, I have not.
Okay, try to look it up on the county website. Look up what market value the county is offering on that property. It's probably all one property or whatever. And I would try to get it for 50% or less of that price. It's hard to comp and tell you what to do on something like that, but that's where I would start.
All righty. Okay.
All right. Anything else that we can help you with?
No, that'll be all, man. Thanks.
All right, man. Really appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next?
All right. We got Tara Stewart from YouTube. She said, do we need to get the social security number from the seller?
Tara Stewart from YouTube is asking, do we need to get the social security number from the seller? And you know what? I really should have removed that from the contract years ago, but I show an example. You just do NA. So to answer your question, no, you don't need to sell a social security number. You just on my contract, just go ahead and put NA for not applicable, and that'll suffice. So to answer your question, and thank you for asking your question.
This is from Burn. Again, he just went live with us a second ago.
Okay.
He said, I do a lot of local driving. I come across vacant houses all the time. How do I figure out who the owner is and their contact info? What do I say to them?
Yeah, we just answered that. Yeah. Yeah, that's the question. That's the question that he asked. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. I can't pronounce that name. What is the easiest way to find a buyer virtually?
Atia from YouTube says, you think I got it right? What is the easiest way to find a buyer virtually? Well, you're really going to do a lot of the same things you would do if you had a buyer, if you had a property under contract, you're trying to market it. You're still going to market it on Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, LinkedIn groups, Craigslist in that area. Bandit signs may be out the question, depending on what you got on the ground to help you. You're still going to reach out to other wholesalers. You're still going to use Google, which I have them all up here. You're still going to use Google, say sell my house fast and that city name. Those first 2-3 pages of results are going to be normally real players in that market. You can still reach out to agents that deal with cash buyers. You can still reach out to real groups in that market. You know, so you're going to do a lot of the same things you would do locally.
Venus Live on Instagram wants to know, do you have a script of what to say to the seller?
Venus Life on Instagram wants to know, do I have a script on what to say to sellers? C, yes, I do. All you have to do is go to YouTube and do a search for Flipman seller script and look for the one that was done in 2020.
Dominique Barton on TikTok asked, if there's a landlord but they don't own the house, should you contact the landlord or find the owner?
Okay, I think they mean, okay, Dominique on Instagram, that was the name?
Yeah.
Dominique on Instagram. I think what the question is, if there's a tenant in the house, should they contact the landlord to see if they can buy the house? I think that's what they meant. Because they said if the landlord, contact the landlord, you know, so if a landlord is living there, okay. So, yeah, so that's just, you know, you're just marketing at that point, whether the house is vacant or not. You're trying to see if you can, you've stumbled onto a tired landlord, which means there may be a motivated seller there. So, yeah, most definitely.
Hardcore04 on Instagram asks, does wholesaling work for commercial properties?
Most definitely it does. The process when you have a seller and a buyer in place on the contract is the same, but getting to that point, totally different than houses. Totally different.
And the Zaya one wants to know, how do you get a potential seller to understand that their house isn't the price they want it to be, even with repairs based on the comps?
All right. The question before that was, can you wholesale commercial, like can you wholesale commercial real estate? And I answered that. And this question from someone from Instagram asked, how do you get a seller when they're in la land about the price of the house to come down to a price that works for you? It's really nothing you can do because you're so far away in a lot of cases from the number that works for you. You're wasting your time on it. You can put it in your follow-up funnel because, you know, that situation may change, you know, weeks or months from now. But normally it's not like you can just talk them down. Sometimes you may get into repairs and things like that. And they're like, well, you're right. You know, it is going to cost to do this, cost to do that. So, you know, we'll discount or whatever. So, but normally, you know, when you're so far apart on the number that works for you and what they want to sell it for, thank them for that time and just put them in your follow-up system, which the Deal Lady CM would help you with. Oh, look, come on back on, Bernie. They tripping. You can take advantage of it. They don't want to do it. Just be me and your show today.
Did you say something about there being some type of list available or a list you can buy from somewhere? I guess I don't know if that's like a vacant house list or
yeah. I'm so sorry that I didn't mention that to you, sir. Put up the Deal Later thing. But see my shirt, deallater.com, right? Not that one, the one that says 5-day free trial thing. I'll tell you a good video that'll show you how to do that. Even though it's about text messaging, look up my video on YouTube, Flipman Text to Flip. In that video, I show you how to build a list, how to skip trace it, and how to use it, you know, to text message. But you just may want to look at the part on building the list. So right there on the screen here, they have where you can, you know, it'll make all sense once you look up that video. But Flipman Text to Flip. Text to Flip is spelled T-E-X-T, the actual number 2, and Flip, F-L-I-P, all one word. It should come right up.
Okay, and thanks. And then you mentioned something earlier that kind of blew past me. It was about multiplying something by 25 and something by 45.
Yeah, whenever you're coming up with your repair cost, someone asked the question, how to come up with repairs when you're trying to do your numbers, right? And so I told them, they asked me, did they need to send out a contract or whatever? I told them a simple way of doing that was, if the house is livable, $25 times the square footage If it's not livable, $40 times the square footage. And what you want, if you came back with 32,333, that ain't the number you use. Just round up to 35. You see what I'm saying? Just round it up to 5 or next 0.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Hey, me and your show, baby. Hey, they don't want it. Suppose they go to the friend of the line, they do like you're doing.
Appreciate it.
All right, my man. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
So Tony on TikTok said, I'm a college student with no money. What should I start with?
Tony on TikTok says he's a college student with no money. Hey, you're in the perfect situation. You know why? Because normally when it means you have no money, you have what?
Motivation.
That too.
Free
time. That's what that normally means. Come on now. I'm serious. So how many hours a day you gonna go to class?
Well, he's working.
He said he ain't got no money, so that means he ain't working.
Maybe he's paying his bills.
The man said he ain't got no money. I'm assuming he ain't working nowhere. We're assuming that. So we're gonna assume how many hours you gonna spend in class if you got a full load? 4?
Yeah.
Okay. How many you gonna study? We'll say you study 2 hours for every class you got. That's 8. That's 12, right? You sleep 8, right? So where we at? 20. You still got 4 hours to dedicate to this every day, educating yourself. So Tony, you need to take advantage of all that time you have. Educate yourself on the process using my free videos. It's literally all there. Y'all have heard me say this 1,000 times, but 2 + 2 still 4. That's 12 years of me spilling my guts. Set yourself a 1 to 2 month goal that you're going to become an expert. You can ask all the questions you want to ask in the comment section of any of my YouTube videos, and I answer those on a daily basis. There's no excuse, my man. And you're so fortunate, Tony, because you're even interested in this at your age. I'm assuming you're a young man in his 20s or whatever. I was 32 years old before I found out about this. You're so far ahead of the game, but you got to take advantage of it and take action.
So Mayor Morrison on Instagram said, I have an off-market property subject to in Fayetteville, North Carolina. How can they present it to you?
You said, what's his name?
Mayor Morrison.
Mayor Morrison. Mayor Morrison in Fayetteville said he has an off-market subject to property in Fayetteville, Arkansas, or North Carolina that he wants to partner with us on. Subject to really is not my thing. What I would suggest you do is on Instagram, reach out to Pace Morby, Pacmorby. That's his thing. He'll probably want to partner up with you. You know, just tell him I referred you. Just put in the first words you need to put in your DM to him is Flip Man, and it'll probably get his attention or whatever. I think. I don't know.
All right, this is from BSoul513 on YouTube. He said, "Are you able to pull a list during the free trial of Later, aka PropStream?"
Yeah, it's going to limit you because they don't want people to be data forming them for free or whatever. So it's going to limit you or whatever. But yeah, you can pull some of it, but you can do all the research you want to.
All right, this is from Brian on YouTube. He said, "Why do you exclude corps, LLCs, and trusts when looking for your deals?"
Okay, Brian from YouTube said, "Why do I exclude corps, LLCs, and trusts when looking for deals? I'm really trying to find the easiest path to get a phone number when I'm trying to skip trade for cold calling, text message, ringing his voicemail, or whatever. If I include corps in that, I'm eliminating that option because you would literally have to research each one of those individually. If you want to do that, you can or whatever, but those people one of the reasons they place them in those type of business entities, so you can't find them, by phone or whatever. There's other reasons, but that's one of the reasons. So, but you can do it, nothing prevents you to do it, but you're going to have to literally research each one of them, find out who's behind it, and sometimes it's impossible. And, but that's the reason why. Hopefully I answered the question.
All right, we got a few people ask how can they get started, that they're confused, and that they need help on getting started. What advice would you give them?
Okay, we had quite a few people. Probably the most common question is, man, it sounds good, blah, blah, blah. How do I get started? Okay, now I know what you're really asking. I can't just tell you how to do it in 5 minutes. But what I can offer to you on how you can get started, I can provide all the information that you need for free. Guess what? I got you. So what you do is simply, and I said it earlier, just simply go to my YouTube channel and make that your mission over the next 1 to 2 months. Studying those free videos, that's literally 12 years of somebody just telling you just free game on how to make life-changing money. What's better than that? Or whatever. So it's up to you to do your part. Educate yourself. You'll become an expert. You'll know more than 99% of the people walking around about real estate. Period. Not that that makes you better than them. I'm just telling you about this particular topic. You're an expert. But that expertise is worthless if you don't apply it to make money. So you start by simply taking advantage of all the free content that I put out there on YouTube and all the other platforms, but it's really go down on my YouTube channel. And make sure when you're there, follow me. Subscribe. Please.
This is from Pete. He said, where can I find information on how much mortgage the seller owes?
Okay, Pete from YouTube asking, how can he find out what the seller owes on the mortgage? Well, generally, you're just going to ask them. They're going to normally have a general idea. They may not know an exact number, which that's fine, but it's all going to come out in the title process anyway, or whatever. But generally speaking, most people are not going to give you a price unless it covers what they owe. And then it simply depends on, does that price work for you? Okay, Pete's asking, is Deal Later like PropStream plus more? Deal Later is a hub. We are partnered with PropStream. I know I do a great job at marketing it, that people don't even know the difference, or they think it's something else or whatever. And when they call PropStream for support, they don't ask for PropStream, they say Deal Later. That's what they don't care, because, whatever. And so, but it's the same thing. It's just like, what's a good example, Jessica? What's a good example? It's like, let me see. Okay, perfect example. You all have probably Chevrolet dealerships in your market, but the name of the Chevrolet dealership may be Deal Later Chevrolet. You see what I'm saying? So this is Deal Later PropStream, or it may be Johnny Taylor Chevrolet. Johnny Taylor is the brand, Chevrolet is the product. Deal Later is the brand, the product is Chevrolet. Now the new CRM they've got, that's all Deal Later. I'm just partnering with a programmer / marketer to help me put it together. So
All right.
my last $2. I don't think Johnny sung that. Somebody, whoever knows, sung that. But go ahead.
Kurt Smith from Facebook asks, you give out valuable information, a lot of which I know from experience. I wish I had a resource like this when I started. How do you make money providing this info for free?
Kurt asked a question that gets into my money, but that's fine. I'll answer. Ain't nobody. I don't make any qualms about how I make. But Kurt basically, like I said, he wished he would have found me sometime ago. The timing is right. Might not have been right for you back then. The timing right now. Then he wish he had resources like this, and says, how do I make money? How do I make money with giving all this information for free? Okay, so first, I'm an entrepreneur first. Real estate is just the first way I made any real money at anything, all right? So I'm an entrepreneur first. So an entrepreneur is trying to make money, all right? So, but I'm going to approach things differently than most people, right? When I got interested in this, a friend introduced this to me through coincidence. And so when I started researching it, Carlton Sheets, which he recently passed back in 2020, I think, he had his infomercials, and all they said is, hey, Carlton, help me make this much money. Hey, Carlton, help me make this money. But how did you make the money? So the internet marketing was a hobby for me, and the only thing I had of value that I thought was my knowledge of real estate, mainly wholesaling. So I didn't want to be like, not saying Carlton, what he was doing was wrong with it. I'm sure he made millions of dollars doing it, or whatever. But I didn't want to be in that group of people that provide information that they just tease you, pull out the credit card, tease you. I want to be like, hey, I'm going to give away the information, right? Value. Maybe you'll feel sorry for them and spend some money with me. Value. I'm going to give more than what you're giving me, right? So through me, the information is free, but things like Deal Later, I make money from that. No question about it. I sell a course for those that the free information is either not fast enough or they want coaching from someone who's actually doing it and been doing it a long time. So I give away more. So thousands, I don't know thousands, I'm sure hundreds, I'm gonna say thousands though, because it began to wait a long time. I've made money I've never even talked to them before. So that's how I make money from this or whatever, is that the Deal Later stuff, the text to flip stuff, the skip to flip stuff, sell courses occasionally, sell an ebook occasionally or whatever. Initially, it was just enough to pay a smartphone bill, maybe a cable bill, get some nails done for a couple people, you know what I'm saying? Some hair done. I'm just tripping. Ain't nobody want me. And then just about 5 years ago, it went beyond that. It was like, you know, the money this month was this, and then it was that. And then so I had to start just from it being a hobby to just turning into, we have to do this every day. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I have to feed the beast or whatever, to keep feeding the beast or whatever. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, I'm sorry. He sent me off that sent me on the soapbox right there. What's up, my man?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, you got to play, boy. What's happening?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. I've been definitely checking out your work and your videos. I got two quick questions. Say cash buyers, for example. How do you evaluate picking the right cash buyers? Because sometimes they might be trying to skimp you on deals. And
I got you. You say your name is Kurt?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where you calling us from?
Right now I'm in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, Florida?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Kurt, question is, how do you tell if you have a real cash buyer or not? That's basically what you're having, right?
Right.
Okay. It's really simple for me, and I'm trying to simplify for everyone that's watching, is they talking speed. Okay, once you all agree on a price, right? You put the contract, send the contract, before you even do that, you ask them, well, how fast can you close? The response should always be as soon as we can get a clear title, period. There's no.
Damn, you breaking up. I can't hear you, brother. Can you hear me? I can't hear you though. Dang. Let me call back. I can't hear nothing. I'm gonna just recall.
on?
Yeah, it's on now. Test. Okay, we're back. We back? Okay, all right. Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, yeah, we somehow lost power on
Okay.
our jig here. Okay, boom.
Yeah, so all I heard is the first question, how fast can you close?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so when you're dealing with a real cash buyer,
Right.
when you ask them how fast you all agreed on the price, and if they seen the house, whatever, you all agreed on the price. So your question is, well, how fast can you close? The response should be as soon as you can get a clear title, right? If they start talking about 30 days and all this stuff, you're probably dealing with another wholesaler, which is fine, but you need to check that, because I'm not going to allow a wholesaler to tie my property up that long like that, because I don't have that much time on them. So the only reason a real cash buyer may take longer than 10 days is they're using hard money or a private lender, and their process may take 14 to 21 days. But they need to let you know that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So that's it. It just speed. They're going to talk in speed.
Right. Okay. And appreciate that. Like for Bandit size, for example, what's a good amount a week? Obviously, you say finances, but like roughly on average, what's a good amount to put out?
Okay, he's asking how many Bandit signs should you put out per week? Ideally, a minimum of 50, and I would recommend 100 if you can do it, or whatever. That would give you the pop that you're looking for. Once you get to 200, you should see a steady flow of calls if 70% of those are still up. Once you get to 200 out in the street, so hopefully you'll do that over a short time frame, though.
Okay, sounds good, man. Appreciate you.
No problem at all, man. Sorry about the audio issue.
It's all good, brother.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, TikTok and Instagram, we were having an issue on the Facebook, YouTube side of the game. We did using two different sets of audio, so.
Inkwell Taylor wants to know, is Jefferson County's website user-friendly for finding house owners' contact info?
Inkwell Taylor wants to know, is Jefferson County, Alabama's website user-friendly for finding owners who owns the property and their mailing address? No, it isn't. They haven't changed it. I've been doing this since 2003. And so I'm assuming they had it up before then. It has not changed one bit since then. That's what, 18 years almost? Well, it has been 18. 18 years, they haven't changed it one bit. Terrible. And you know what I'm saying? Then we vote for these people. That's another story. But we hadn't changed one bit.
Lovey-Dovey's Poof said, when you know a property doesn't need much repairs, what do I put in the investment category on the deal calculator? Could you break down that part of the calculator?
Okay, so Lovey-Dovey Proof. Am I right? Poof. Lovey-Dovey Poof. Oh, wow. Lovey-Dovey Poof. From Instagram says, on my deal calculator, what if they don't need any repairs? Then the repairs are zero in the formula. You're gonna have to put something that's not going to accept zero. You have to just put $100 in there or whatever. So that's it. The $100 is the repairs, but you're still going to use the same information. The repairs will be just $100 because you got to enter something. You still got to work the numbers. Still going to be 70%. Repairs are 100. Then you're going to still do your fee. Then there's your number.
Dallas Lucas Dad said, starting with 100,000. What's the best way to start?
Oh, Dallas Lucas Dad said he got 100 big ones, $100,000. What is the best way to start? Now, if it were me, I didn't start that way. I started with about $100. So what I would do, Dallas, really no different than anyone else. You're going to educate yourself on the process. Now, you can go through my free videos. You can speed up the process if you want coaching. I ain't trying to sell nothing. I'm just telling you what the options are or whatever. But if you go through the free videos, set yourself a 1 to 2 month goal, you're going to become an expert. You would have to use less than 5,000 of that and never have to touch the other 95. Probably more like 2,000 before you get a first deal and never have to touch that other 100,000. So you're going to be able to compound that tremendously and quickly because you do have a war chest that you can start with. A war chest to me is $2,000. That's a lot of money to start with. You don't take that much to start. I'm just saying that's a lot of money to start this business with because you can put in play a serious marketing game plan.
Homie Improvement said, is it true that all knowledge to learn how to wholesale is free, but the necessary tools to wholesale cost money?
What's their name?
Homie Improvement.
Homie Improvement said the knowledge to learn how to wholesale is free. Yeah, for me. But the tools to make it happen are not free. That's not true, right? The internet has not always existed. All these tools, delay and all this other stuff, Flipman, all this other stuff hadn't existed. But wholesaling has before all of that. So it's obvious, well, I don't know if it's obvious to you, but that means it can be done without any of these tools. That's simple. The tools make it easier to do deals, right? That's it. But you can still do deals. Let me just say this. You don't have to do one deal, and then you can do all these tools that you want to take on, you can take them on. You know, it's very few businesses you can start after the first deal, you're profitable. It's very few. So no, yes, you can do this stuff without these tools. It just makes it easier. It's just like we used to ride horses. Now we drive cars. You can still ride a horse to New York from Birmingham, but you know, it's gonna probably take you 3 or 4, week? How long y'all think it'll take? 2 weeks? You know what I'm saying? So you can still ride a horse. You know what I'm saying? You can still ride a horse, or you can still drive a car to New York, but you can still fly there and get there in a few hours. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can break it down even more. You can still walk to New York, right? Nothing prevents you from doing it, and it's possible. But you know, technology tools allow you to get there faster. Same thing with these tools, the wholesaling. It can be done without any of it, but the tools can get you there faster to a check, payday, or paydays.
So we have a lot of this question on TikTok. Everyone wants to know if you had $100 to start with, what would you do?
If you had $100 to start with, what would I do? With $100, what I would do is, right? I would do, it's a couple things you can do with $100, and that's a good video we start to do. A TikTok we do, $100. Okay, all right. You can go the driving for dollars route. That should fill up most vehicles 3 times, right? $100. That should fill up the vehicle 3 times. That's one way. You can use 1 month subscription of Dealulator, right? And download a list of cash buyers and reach out to them. And then what you would do is wholesale other properties. Wholesale other wholesaler properties to your list. That's another way. With that $100, you could use it to, well, you know what? On that, let me back up on that cash buyer list, because you're not going to be able to that $100 is not going to give you an opportunity to skip trace. That's not enough money, so scratch that. So we go back to the driving for dollars, the gas money, and then the other $100 is, so that makes it tough. So because you're basically talking about free right now. Let me see what else you can do. You can do this. You can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy large corrugated plastic material and create your own bandit signs, but you'll have to use the right markers. When I say markers, you'll have to use the right markers. You should be able to buy a couple of sheets, cut them down, and put out signs that say, instead of you trying to buy houses, you market for cash buyers. You just put out a phantom bandit sign that says, cheap house for sale. If it's a $100,000 neighborhood, you would put on the sign, cheap house for sale, 30,000 cash. Cash buyers are going to call you from that area. So then you would build that cash buyers list that you would then use to wholesale other wholesalers' properties.
So you get them for the
Well, yeah. So those are two things that I would do with $100: to driving for dollars and buying some Bandit signs to target cash buyers. Build a cash buyers list that you can use to wholesale other wholesalers' properties.
All right, this came from Max. He said, can you talk about running quick numbers, the ARV on a duplex or 3-family, and how that differs from a single family or a fix and flip?
Okay, Max from YouTube basically is asking how to run the numbers on a duplex or a triplex property versus a single family house. A couple of ways to approach that. If the property is vacant, then it's just simple. What are the rents going for a 2-1, a 1-1, a 3-2, or whatever in that area? And you just want to do well, you can do it in the form of cash flow or whatever. Okay, say if they're renting for, we'll just use some easy numbers that I can calculate in my head. $500 a unit, 2 units, that's $1,000, right? 1,000 times 12 is 12,000. You would then divide the price that you can get it for and what the renovations are into that to come up with a cash on cash return, or some people are saying ROI or whatever. How I would do it is I'm still going to treat them as, especially if they're vacant, I'm going to treat them as houses. So let me back up. Unless there are a lot of duplexes and triplexes in that area, then I got something to compare to. But if it's like the only duplex or 1 or 2 duplexes in a decent sized neighborhood or triplex, then I'm going to treat them as houses. And I may go up a little bit because they are income producing property. But I'm going to look at the houses that are normal size in that area. And that's maybe next door. And that's what I'm going to use to comp everything out with, as if I was going to buy that house. And as I said, I may adjust it a little bit because those are income producing properties. You still have to take in consideration the repair costs or whatever, but that's how I would do it or whatever. So I'm still looking for an unbelievable deal. And man, that's the way I would do it. Go ahead.
This was from Tanya on Facebook. Can you wholesale totally online?
Yeah, some people never sit in their pajamas and do this thing or whatever. That's a harder grind because you're going to be targeting properties in a lot of cases that are already for sale. So you're going to have the right type of buyers. And the other thing, going back to the $100 thing. Another way that you could do this, and you really won't have to spend the $100, but you're really saying from 0 to 100, I guess is what you're saying. You can target properties that are, and I'm asking the same question for you, Tanya, is that you target not properties that are for sale online, but properties that are for rent. And you're just going to play the numbers game. Like I mentioned in a TikTok yesterday, I would target GoSection8.com because a lot of times you can get the actual landlord/owner on the phone and you can see if they're interested in selling. That doesn't cost you anything, right? And so you can do the same thing on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and Zillow. The only issue is on those, and they don't go Section 8 too. Sometimes you're going to run, well, a lot of times you're going to run into property managers, so you have to weed through that, or realtors that are listing those properties for them. Your objective is to talk to the actual decision maker, which is the owner. And on Zillow, it'll say listed by owner or whatever, or it'll say listed by property manager, or it'll say listed by agent. Now on Craigslist, you may not be able to identify that, just depending on how the ad is read. On Facebook Marketplace, the same thing. So that's the way you can do it with $0 to $100. Really, that would be 0.
All right.
I don't know why you say that first.
This is from Karen. She said, how would a wholesaler place an offer on off-market properties on sites such as Market Pro, Home Buyers?
Okay. Karen from YouTube says, how would a wholesaler place an offer on an off-market property on sites such as Market Pro and Home Buyers? I'm not familiar with those sites, so I don't know what their how are their requirements, or can you even post properties there? I'm not familiar with those sites at all.
All right. Shanita asked, can I partner with you on my first deal?
Okay, Shanita on YouTube says, can she partner with me on her first deal? Shanita, I do have an option like that, but it's a situation where, number one, you need to know what you're doing as far as finding deals, put it in the contract, negotiate with the seller. But I give all that information away through my YouTube channel. And if you have something under contract, if it's off market, it's a great deal, and you're dealing directly with the owner, then the answer is yes, baby girl. Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is from Relentless_Vic. She said, or they said, if you're in an attorney estate, for example, New York, do you have to pay the title company separately to provide a clear title, or does the attorney do that?
Okay, someone, what is their name? Relentless something off of YouTube asked, they're in an attorney state, which is the state of New York, which means attorneys can only close the deals, from my understanding, in New York. He's asking who pays the title company. Well, normally your cash buyer pays all closing costs, but it's all negotiable. Sometimes they may say, hey, I'm not paying enough, you're gonna have to pay half or whatever. So you may be picking up $18,000 check. So the closing cost may be $1,500. Half of that is $750. So you're gonna allow $750 to keep you from making $17,250? No. They may tell you to pay all of it. So that's $1,500. So you're gonna allow $1,500 to keep you from making $16,500. I'm subtracting those from $18,000 if you didn't know. So, no. So to answer your question, normally the cash buyer pays it, but it's negotiable.
This is from Abdul. I think I'm saying that right. He said, I'm 18. I work full time and I'm in college. Sometimes I feel dead, but hey, we gotta get to work. You remember we were talking about college kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you.
I'm glad you said that, Jessica. Okay, so Abdul says, he's just making a statement, I guess. Bro, I'm 18, full-time, and full-time college student. Sometimes I feel, I guess he means dead, but we got to work. Yeah, also, yeah, okay, so let's address that. All right? You're asking the wrong person there, right? So, hey, all right, so what we said the college had, we had 4 hours in a day maybe, the classes. Okay, so he's working full time, so that's 12 hours, right? All right, we got 24 hours. We got 168 hours in a week, if you all didn't know that. So that's 24 hours a day times 7 is 168. All right, so you got 12 dedicated to school and school and what is it? School and working. All right, so now we got 12 hours left. We'll go ahead and let you sleep 8 of them, right? All right, so now you got 4 hours left, right? He ain't going to school 4 hours a day though, is he? That.
But you don't know, like this Emma says, hire one. She said we're busy depending on your major. That's true.
No excuses.
It is, but
Those excuses.
real life.
You know, sacrifice. We don't want to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? That's why.
Like when y'all be talking about getting a real estate license, when I told you.
Yeah. Oh, I can't pass it, and just so you got to have.
Do it if you want.
Yes, you. I can't pass. You have to know yourself. I can't jog up to the Galleria. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? All right, so I know what I can do and I can't pass no real estate test. It has to be something I'm highly interested in. But back to the time thing. So what do we leave off? I said, yeah, you make time. I ain't even got to go through that diatribe. You know, I wish he'd break his hours down to him, but I ain't even got to go through it. It's enough hours. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, there you go. See, there's the crux of it here, right there. There you go. Keep watching Netflix. Keep making Reed Hastings rich. That's fine. He good with it. Keep making him rich. I'm not saying I don't do a lot of screwing off. Don't trust me. Hey, I'm what they said?
Nursing and healthcare schools go 6 to 7 hours a day of unpaid clinical time.
That is true.
Okay. Now you're pursuing a field where you're guaranteed income when you finish. A lot of these jokers ain't. I was one of them. A lot of these jokers, see, you're different. You're Hey, you're pursuing a field, you're guaranteed a job, especially now. They probably want to get you out of there earlier, especially now. But I ain't talking to you. I'm not talking to you. You have to handle that once you actually start working, then you'll have time. But your schooling don't allow that. That is so taxing, you know, when you're in the medical field and most levels of it, that you know you don't have time to do it. I'm amazed. I couldn't pass. I ain't going to, but I was science. But yeah, I admire anyone that can deal in biology, chemistry, physics, any of that stuff. My mind don't work that way. I couldn't. I just, oh my God, this is terrible, you know. But you don't have time. So you're okay. Who else going in on me? Let's go. Let's go. I want these college kids. Let's go. Well, who else going in on me? Oh, hey, anyway, so we'll get hit us up on tomorrow on that college stuff. I love that. Excuses. I ain't into those excuses though. We've been running pretty good. Well, we had a little laugh, so we'll give them a little extra. Jajara.
After you put a deal under contract with the seller, do you find the title company or do you let the final cash buyer find the title company?
Hey, Jajara. The question is, who chooses the title company? I'm going to always suggest that you just wait. Okay, you have a seller under contract. Wait until you have a cash buyer. Now, sometimes they'll say, I don't care who we use, right? Now, if this is your first time, I say, well, who do you use? You know, you would just go and use who they use or whatever. Or you can go to my Facebook group, Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flip Man, and ask the question in there, what title company, what closing attorney is wholesaler friendly? It's over 60,000 people in there. Someone's going to help you, you know, and you have to name the city or whatever with that question. Or you can go to a local group to that city and ask those same questions. But that's it. But normally you're going to wait on a cash buyer because you may go out and choose a title company or closing attorney and you get a cash buyer. He says, oh, I don't have a relationship with them. You want me to pay closing costs, don't you? We're going to use my people. But that's fine. That's what my closing detail sheet is for. You find out who you need to talk to over there. You submit your contract with him, your contract with the seller, and my closing detail sheet, both free, all free. And boom, there you go.
Can't find a cash buyer. It seems he has to pay to become a member of the network inside the Chicago REIA club.
Do you man, it's oh my God. Do you have a great deal? If you have it in the contract, what's the name? Prodale says he's having trouble finding a cash buyer on a deal he has in Chicago. He says it seems like you have to pay to join the REIA clubs or whatever. Don't worry about that. If you have a deal, you can submit it to deallater.com. If you're dealing with the seller directly, it's under contract. It's a great deal and it's off market. We'll split it 50-50. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, you're in Chicago now. We can only probably, you know, it's a little tricky there. So, but I think we still get it done because of the law that they changed.
BC Rise 3 on TikTok said, when doing an appointment, is it good to use a repair sheet?
You know, it couldn't hurt, and then I would do, but it couldn't hurt or whatever. Yeah, if you know what to look for, so if you know the cost of repairs, you could do that. But normally you could just walk through. If you know that, you could just walk through in your head and be like, boom, you know, this is what it's going to cost or whatever. So if I understand the question correctly, he was asking, should you prepare a repair sheet when doing a walkthrough with a seller or whatever? That was the question.
All right, Zeniki. She said, should we wholesale under an LLC or is it better to do it individually?
Okay, Zeniki says, should we wholesale under an LLC or is it better to do it individually? No, you want to do it on an LLC, but to start, you can start in your name. It won't hurt nothing if you don't have the funds or resources to do your marketing and setting up an LLC at the same time. If you do, go ahead and get both in motion or whatever, but it ain't gonna kill you to do one in your name and you can pay for an LLC, but you are running a business. So you need to be operating under an entity, a business entity. such as an LLC.
All right, B-Soul 513 said, I'm working on your first deal. To initiate the action, would you recommend running comps for all your addresses found, then proceed to marketing them?
Okay, B-Soul 513 said, on working your first deal, to initiate action, would you recommend running comps for all your addresses found, then proceed to marketing to them? Well, it depends on what type of marketing you're doing and how large your list is. You know, that's what it's going to depend on. If you're doing a fairly large list, then yeah, you want to, and then again, it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing cold calling, text message, ringing, voicemail, or voice broadcast, then yeah, because you're going to have to skip trace the number, and then however you're going to reach out to them or whatever service, which I recommend text to flip on the texting and skip to flip on the skip tracing. But if you're going to do direct mail, then you can go to mail-to-flip.com or whatever. So, but you could do a combination of those with that same list. You could call people, you could text them, you could mail them, a combination of it. I'm tired. Wholesaling real estate with the Flip Man. Someone on TikTok asked, what is the name of my Facebook group? It's Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flip Man. So guys, y'all got some more questions. I'm tired. I got some questions. And we got to do some work around here. Guys, I really appreciate everyone showing up. I hate to cut it off. I guess we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to, well, anyway, because we got everything. We might do shorter tomorrow because we got the other stuff we got going tomorrow too. So it's only one me. I ain't complaining. If you want a free copy of the contract I've been using since 2003, before I say that, the CRM is available now. If you want to manage and have a great follow-up system, you can text message, call within the CRM system. YouTube search Flipman CRM. I just released a video today on how to use it. You can access it through dearlater.com, Dearlater CRM. If you want a free copy of the contract that I've been using since 2003, do a YouTube search for Flipman 2021 contract. Oh, throw it up there. I put it down there. It's like the last one, the CRM thing.
Is it a banner?
It's a banner. It's down there. It should be. If you want to partner with me, we split it 50-50. If you have a property under contract, you're dealing directly with the owner, it's off market, and it is a great deal, submit it to dearlater.com. If you're on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, follow me on both. If you're on both of those, subscribe to my YouTube channel so when we upload new videos, you are alerted by turning on the little bell to get the alert. And when we go live, guys, I appreciate that. I hate that you had the little audio issue. But everything you need to know on YouTube is there for the taking. So when you literally have nothing to lose when the knowledge and training is free.
Flip man, it's the Flip Man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Yeah, that.